FunPop. FunPop. FunPop.
Game's coming out like
Hey
what?
everybody! Yeah, what
Hey.
it's coming out when?
Isn't it coming out soon or did
Yeah,
it
March.
get delayed again?
March
Oh.
4th, I think, is when it's coming out. I'm not 100%.
Yeah.
I don't remember, but hi everybody.
They
This
need
is
to delay it.
FunPop, episode number 39, and we are live. Joined here currently by two of the best dudes in movie, TV show, video game podcasting. With
Wow, thanks.
yeah, amazing friends here. One of them is been on the show since its formation. Amazing, 39 episodes in. Psycho, how's it going, dude?
Feeling fantastic. Got done watching. Well, I watched the Book of Boba Fett today, and wow. And then I've been watching. Been on the Disney Plus kick, watching some other stuff. And can I say that what is it? I think it's X-Men, the one with the Dark Phoenix, the original cast.
Yeah.
Movies?
How horrible that is. I'm like, what am I watching?
Oh yeah.
What the-
They did the
Juggernaut.
whole Dark Phoenix storyline twice in the same universe. I don't understand how it works. How you can have Days of Future Past, and then have following that with the same cast of characters move on and do
Well,
like
I want to know how
You
the
know.
fuck Dr. Xavier, Professor
Dr.
Xavier
Xavier
survived.
Yeah.
Because in this episode he kind of got fucking destroyed. So I don't
Yeah.
know how he was in other ones. Logan.
Yeah, it doesn't make sense.
No.
As well as, hey, we have the realist Debbie Downer, who's on a level of hype right now. I haven't seen from this man in a while. After he watched the last episode of Boba Fett. So what's up? What's going on, Jasper? How's it going?
Watched Boba Fett. Watched Dying Light reviews and some performance stuff on that. So we
Oh,
can play
yeah.
that game later on. Tomorrow, I guess, is when it comes out if you go to New Zealand. So been kind of looking into that and playing Rainbow.
Nice.
That's what I've been up to.
Right on, dude. Shout out to the chat. Already getting people filing in here. Appreciate you. I was scrambling to get the show set up today. I mean, just a lot of stuff going on. We had so I sat down here literally 15 minutes before we're supposed to go live, and I'm like, okay, I gotta create the event. We gotta send out the link. I gotta do all this, and so it's scrambling, but we made it. We hit it on time. So, and shout out to you guys for hopping in here. Sub to Geezer Prime, Fifth Horseman, Ham Solo. Appreciate you guys. And also we're gonna have 3-Bit. I believe joining in the middle of the show as well. He couldn't be here at the beginning, but he should be here, I think. And
Said 10 minutes late, but that's 3-bit time.
that's 3-Bit
so-
time. We'll see him in an hour, maybe, or so. But yeah, the guys, lots to talk about this week. I wanted to start off with this. For me, it's kind of a disappointing delay. I mean, I don't get upset about delays ever, right? I mean, this is not like, oh my god, screw you developers, what's wrong with you? You're lazy, all that crazy stuff that they have to deal with from insane fanboys and internet trolls and man babies around the world, right? But needless to say, after the last trailer that we saw from Suicide Squad Kills the Justice League, I started to develop another level of excitement for that game, because that gameplay that they showed was pretty incredible. It looked like a potential amazing co-op / single player story based fun DC game brought to life. It looked like it was going to be really good. Now it's looking like, hey, it's not going to end up happening this year. They're moving it to 2023 according to reports. So is that, I'm wondering, okay, two things. Man, there's been a lot of delays already. for pushing games into 2023. This one stings a little bit because I was actually really looking forward to this. But I'm also curious, does this mean Gotham Knights is also in danger of being pushed to 2023, or is it gonna hopefully hit 2022? Because that was their other big DC game. So Psycho, Suicide Squad Kills the Justice League. Like,
Yes, sir.
are you like, does this disappoint you whatsoever? You know, you could have to wait another at least few months.
No, because any time for any game, any delay, if it's to polish to make it better, is good. I mean, look at Halo, that got delayed a whole year, and from the state that we saw in that E3 trailer, where there was no textures and they delayed it a whole year, it paid off. So any delay to help with textures or polishing or anything like that is always a positive. Yes, it sucks that it's not coming out right away, but there's so many other things coming out to play that it's like, yeah, it's all right. So that's the one positive thing with having Game Pass is, there's so many things that you could be playing right now to hold you until that game comes out. So it's not that bad.
Yeah.
It's not as bigger deal if it like it used to be back before Game Pass and all that.
Mhm.
So to me, it's not a huge detriment.
Yeah. What about you, Jasper? Were you looking forward to this one, or?
I was more excited for Gotham Knights, to be honest.
Yeah.
But
Uh-huh.
so like, and it also doesn't surprise me that it got delayed. Like I figured, I'm surprised Gotham Knights isn't delayed too, to be honest. Like I think WB is just kind of in a rough spot right now with where they were like selling and like just COVID and all that stuff, and just like that whole company is
Yeah.
kind of in a mix right now. So I'm surprised it's more is not delayed out of that, to be honest.
Yeah. I think the one thing about Gotham Knights is it was originally supposed to be 2021.
Yeah.
Right. So that's what has me like holding out hope for that one. And I'm wondering if this is going to hurt my prediction at all of Gotham Knights coming to Game Pass, right? Because now no longer will they have two of these big DC like multiplayer, like open world games. Now there's going to be just one this year. And I was hoping maybe like the hype of Suicide Squad Kills the Justice League, this is my thinking, was going to like overshadow the hype of Gotham Knights a little bit, right? Because Suicide Squad Kills the Justice League is Rocksteady, right? Makers of the Arkham series and everything. And I was hoping that would, not hoping. I was thinking the hype for that game would overshadow Gotham Knights, and they'd be like, okay, Gotham Knights isn't getting as much hype, but we believe in it so much, and we want to make this deal with Microsoft, put it into like almost 30 million Game Pass members' hands right away, because it's built for co-op, it's built for multiplayer, and Microsoft also would be willing to shell out that cash because they get that, superhero like.
Well, maybe that also is a stronger sign that it will come to Game Pass, because maybe WGB is like, we're going to miss out on this game this year, so we need to make sure we have at least one big banger. So it's like put it in Game Pass so we know we're getting 30 million people to eyes on it instead of having to split between two games.
500,000.
Yeah.
Less than a million. Yeah. No, that makes sense.
Yeah.
That'd be nice. That'd be going into Game Pass. Any type of engagement. That's the beauty of Game Pass. You put a game in there that you might not get strong sales, and then you get all these eyes on it. And who was it? What was that? What did you say? Bandai Namco?
Bandai Namco. Namco. Namkai Bando. Namkai Bando is what I said.
There you go. With Scarlet Nexus, they're like, holy crap, the engagement with this game.
Mm-hmm.
So I definitely see the same thing with this. Get eyes, if there's any type of microtransactions, meaning like costumes, cosmetic bullshit.
Did Scarlet Nexus end up hitting Game Pass?
Yes,
yeah.
It hit Game Pass this summer.
Okay. I didn't remember because I'd already.
I think it was like 3 or 4 months after it came out.
Okay. Yeah, that's another option. These games do not necessarily always do day one, right? Like I think some of them are kind of destined to be in Game Pass at some point. We do know Battlefield will be there, later on.
Yeah.
You know, because it's part of EA
Exactly.
Play. And I'm wondering if like the season 1 that they delayed, which was another delay, which was this one's a weird thing, man. Battlefield.
Well, Battlefield's just been in trouble. So.
Right.
Yeah.
I'm wondering if that's going to coincide with either okay, season 1's now free to play or in Game Pass. You know what
I
I mean?
don't think
well.
they'll do the free to play route. I think they'll do Game Pass first, just to
Yeah,
see
like
if that can save it a little more.
I think it could as
Yeah.
long as they get the. I mean, personally, I've said it many times. I'm having fun with Battlefield. I mean, there's some issues, right? But it's not as like broken as people that haven't played it just reading headlines and stuff are saying, or a lot of people that just tried the original beta, or people that played it like on day 1 or something, you know, and did never play it again. You know, they've made a lot of fixes already. And I think that people get caught up a lot in like these like, oh, this is bad, so it's just labeled as bad now, and everybody says it's bad, and because they screwed everybody over, right? And now it's kind of stuck in that mindset, and it's going to be hard for them to dig themselves out of that, right? Kind of like Xbox. Remember last generation? Like once they made those few mistakes, you know, it was kind of like, uh-oh. You know, it's gonna be hard to dig ourselves out of this. You know, it's kind of like Battlefield's in that same spot now, right?
They just need an Uncle Phil over there at EA.
Vincent Pella, they put him in charge of DICE, so we'll see if he can pull out his magic. You know, he's gonna also have something to do with these Star Wars games because he's in charge of Respawn, and they're gonna have all these Respawn games, and now he's got DICE under him and all this stuff. I mean, crazy. I mean, he's in charge of all their big projects that they have. It seems like, you know, so we'll see, man. I have hopes for Battlefield, but going back to Suicide Squad Kills the Justice League, I'm wondering if this game is massive because they've been working on this for a long time, haven't they? Like ever since Arkham Knight came out. I mean, it seems like that was, or did they make? Were rumors were they working on something else and they got shifted into this or something like that? I can't remember, but it's been a while, man. Like Arkham Knight was like early, like last generation, wasn't it?
Was that the third one?
Yeah.
360
Yeah.
and late 360, and then I think Origins was Xbox One, PS4 era.
Yeah, Origins
one.
was, but Origins wasn't made by Rocksteady either.
No.
So,
And it was, and that's the one
Arkham Knight 2015.
yeah, 2015, man. So the Rocksteady's last big game they put out was 2015. I mean, they've had like the Arkham Collection and stuff like that, you know, hit, but that was like right after that, you know. So I mean, they've had to have been working on this for a while, dude. So you got 2015 to 2023 between games. That's 8 years.
Yeah, unless they've been working on a new engine.
Yeah, I mean, it depends on how much they're like just changing like the overall like game too. Like the play style is going to be different, everything. So they have to like they have to pretty much make everything new from scratch. Whereas like the Batman, you can kind of reuse some stuff.
Right.
Yeah.
Maybe that'll be a good thing.
And if they're, I'm not sure if they're utilizing the Unreal Engine 4, but if they are, maybe they decided to go UE5, and everything that they have up to this point, they've now are changing over to UE5 engine, and that's why it's taken possibly a longer time too.
Yeah. It's all this is really interesting, man.
Yeah, because earlier 2001 is when it was allowed. It was open to the developers, I believe. So they only had pretty much a year of it working on that. So they probably were like, we don't have enough time to change everything over. If that's the route they're going,
Yeah.
that'd be interesting, because that'd be really cool, because they probably saw what they could do with the metahumans and everything else environmental wise with UE5, and I mean, we see clips and videos that people put out, like the meta trees, and you're like, holy crap, these fucking things look so real, and they were probably like, you know.
Also, I don't know if maybe is this game supposed to be out on Xbox One and PlayStation 4 as well? Because maybe that's slowing them down.
I don't know.
Maybe.
I don't know if that, maybe PS4, but I don't know about Xbox One. I think everything right now is like just going over to Series X now.
Because I know that's like a problem sometimes when they try to make a next gen game and they make it run on Xbox One and stuff. It's like, oh, we got to blow our mind to try to get this shit to work.
Yeah. I was just reading the wiki over the development history. And does this count? I mean, 3-Bit looks like he's here, but he's just like a frozen statue. So yeah, I ended the poll because, you know, I thought he was here, but now I'm like, I don't know if he's actually here or if he's just a picture. I think he's teasing.
Maybe he's just really holding his breath.
Kate says 18 minutes. I'm gonna say 18 minutes. So that's like pretty in between 13 minutes and 27 minutes. I'll say closer to the 13 minutes category. So anybody who voted 13 minutes, you won. What did you win? Absolutely nothing.
Woohoo! Congrats, everybody.
What's up, 3-Bit?
Hey.
We were just talking about
crazy freaking gunshots near my house.
Wow.
That was kind of scary.
Was it you sure it was gunshots, not fireworks?
Yeah. Yeah, I'm sure.
Wow.
That was kind of scary.
Yeah.
But hello everyone. I am 3-Bit. What are you guys talking about?
We were talking a lot about you. But yeah,
made a poll.
Yeah, welcome to the show,
Ooh.
man. Appreciate you being here, dude. Hopefully your mom's doing okay.
Yeah, she's doing good. She just had surgery, so
yeah.
If I step out a couple times, I'll be like, that's why.
Okay, right on, no problem. We were talking about Suicide Squad Kill the Justice League, and it's been rumored to be delayed to 2023. Which is, I mean, okay, so I'm gonna read this wiki that I just found. Okay, so this is like about the development of this game. So I'm still excited for this game, but it's pretty crazy. A hardcore violent video game based on the Suicide Squad was first announced by then DC Comics Chief Creative Officer Jeff Johns in July of 2010. In February 2012, he elaborated that the game was in development, adding that because of the concept, you have a game where any of the lead characters can conceivably die and it's not a stunt. Some really cool story could come out of that. The formation of the Suicide Squad was teased at the end of Batman Arkham Origins in 2013, developed by WB Games Montreal, which featured a post-credit scenes in which Deathstroke is asked by Amanda Waller to join the team. I think I remember that. And in Batman Arkham Origins Blackgate, in which Deadshot and Bronze Tiger join the team with Bane under consideration. But in the years since Arkham Knight was released, there have been rumors suggesting that WB Games Montreal was working on a Suicide Squad game, but no official announcement was made from the development team or publisher. In December 2016, Jason Dickbag Schreier from Kotaku revealed that the title was canceled. So in 2016, the game was revealed that it was canceled. So it was originally being developed by WB Games Montreal, supposedly. Then Rocksteady Studios announced Suicide Squad Kill the Justice League in August 2020. So what was Rocksteady doing from the years of 2015 to 2020? I don't know, right? Like,
I'm sure there was some Batman DLC, probably less till 2016, 2017.
Yeah.
Unless they're working on an engine that they were trying out. Because usually any type of engine work, 3-Bit knows, it takes time.
They usually use Unreal, I think, for their stuff.
Yeah, that's what, because that was what I was mentioning earlier. The delay could be that they're transferring over everything to UE5.
Oh,
Possibly they thought they could get it in time, and they were like, "Fuck, we can't," and that's why.
Oh,
it
that's
was
possible.
delayed.
Yeah.
Hmm.
Yeah,
So,
maybe. I don't know.
but the the use of metahumans, and if they could in this, that'd be insane. Imagine how more detailed the characters are, how more realistic Superman and all the Justice League heroes and the Suicide Squad and just the environment. Kind of look at the Matrix UE5 tech demo and look how crazy that was. And imagine instead of being someone in the Matrix universe, you're a member of the Suicide Squad trying to take down the Flash or Superman.
Yeah.
Through all that, that'd be insane.
Yeah, that'd be pretty crazy. I wonder. So when did the game start production?
It doesn't
You
say, but it was in this version was announced in August of 2020. But there had been talks that another one was in development before that, and then it had been canceled. And that one was from WB Games Montreal. So
Yeah.
I think it was almost like WB Games Montreal was making a Suicide Squad game. It was canceled, and then it moved on to Rocksteady. And maybe Rocksteady had been working on something else that got canceled at the time. I don't know. It's kind of weird.
Unless they swapped. Unless they swapped games. Like they're like, Montreal's like, hey, we're having a hard time with this game. And they're like, hold on, we're the experts at DC games. So what we're working on this. Won't we swap the games? Here we are with this. Here's all our assets and everything. We'll take this on. And they're like, and they got it. They're like, okay, they salvaged what they could. And that's where we got an announcement and where we are today. And then possibility. So it'd be interesting. So whatever they announce, Montreal announces next could be what Rocksteady could have been working on. If that's the case, I'm not saying that it was, but
Yeah, I don't know. Yeah, I mean they have other studios that they maybe were assisting in. I don't really know.
Yeah,
what
that's
it
interesting.
could- but if they did announce it in what would you say 2020?
Yeah.
So maybe they started production like pre-production like mid to late 2019.
Yeah. It's just crazy
Um,
because Arkham Knight came out in 2015. Right?
Dang, I didn't know it was that
Yeah.
that long ago.
yeah.
That's why it's
Hmm.
like, wow, 8 years between games for Rocksteady is a long time, right? And especially when you find out that they weren't working on this game originally, it was somebody else potentially, right? Like it's just like interesting things with development. I'm super hyped for this game. I think it's gonna be amazing. But we'll have to wait a little bit longer. And hopefully Gotham Knights doesn't follow the same fate. It was supposed to be released last year, got pushed back to this year, and that one is being made by WB Games Montreal, I believe, right? So, making two big DC.
I feel
superhero
like
games at the
Gotham
same time.
Knights is more like a Rocksteady game, whereas
Yeah.
Suicide Squad's more like a Montreal game. To be honest,
I agree with the aesthetic of them and stuff, and maybe like Psycho's onto something. Maybe they like traded. It's like, hey, we can't figure this out. Trade? Can we trade?
Yeah, I mean they're all in house.
I don't know.
So
Interesting.
possibility.
Anyway, so yeah, I still have hope also for Gotham Knights and Game Pass, but we'll see. But beyond that, guys, I want to talk about something else that happened this past week. We got a little trailer drop. A little trailer, the first official full-length trailer for something that is very dear to me. Something that I love. Something that I know that all of us on this panel really are very fond of. That's Halo.
never heard of it.
Never heard of Halo? No,
Jasper, what's behind you?
Oh, that's Doom guy.
That's
Oh.
Doom guy? Okay. Doom fan. I got some Halo action figures yesterday.
That's a
Yeah.
PlayStation mascot.
Oh, don't do that to them.
Plays. Oh yeah, dude. They don't know. Don't tell them. They think they bought Halo.
That video is freaking funny.
Did you see like all the tweets that were posted online, like from people like I'm not gonna say names, but very infamous trolls in this community that stalk Xbox podcasts and stuff. And
It wasn't
and
just like Twitter. It was like on my Facebook too. Like everybody on
Yeah.
Facebook was like,
Any
"Look,
social media thing.
we finally got
we got
Halo."
Halo. Yeah, we bought Halo. We took it away from Xbox. It's like it just goes to show, like for me, honestly, like a lot of these people that you see that have these Twitter accounts and are trolling and these chats and stuff are just actually really don't follow the games industry whatsoever or know anything, and they're just there to talk crap. Like
Yeah.
they're so unknowledgeable. A lot of people like just basic stuff like Microsoft owning Halo, right? Like it's just like I don't, you know what I mean? Like I get that Bungie's associated with Halo, but do they not know that 343 has been making Halo for like since
2008.
Yeah. Like it just boggles my mind, you know. It's very interesting, but regardless of the stupidity of people out there or the ignorance, I'm not gonna say they're all stupid. Just because you don't know something doesn't make you stupid. It could just make you ignorant, right? One or the other, right? But like if you're gonna talk crap, you know, here's the thing, right? To the oblivious person that just doesn't follow gaming news or whatever and stuff like that. Hey, there's no harm in knowing like any of this information, not knowing or knowing any of this information, unless you're a person who is using stuff like this to talk crap on social media, right? If you're using information that you believe is true to talk crap on social media and to fuel your fanboy war stuff and to like, oh,
Maybe
hey,
just do a
screw you
quick
guys.
Google before you post.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's just
And they could
just-
have been like, oh,
don't show your level of ignorance with every tweet that you make. And this one really exposed some people, right?
yes.
Really exposed some people that are known to hang around some chats at times and give Xbox fans some trouble, that they just really have no clue what the freak is going on in the games industry in the first place. So anyway, like it's interesting. Yeah, Microsoft owns Halo still. And guess what? There's a TV show coming that we're excited for. The other thing I got to say that's been seen out there, if from even some prominent YouTubers, please don't put Bungie on Killzone. You buy Bungie and your first thought is to put them on Killzone?
Hey, they need something.
Like who are these people that have these thoughts that pop in their head? Like Killzone? Really?
I mean, okay, when you think about like Sony franchises, there's not a lot that has first person, maybe like Resistance or like Killzone.
Yeah, but the Bungie's already making 2 new games at least, right? You got to think one of those games, or Destiny, which they now own as well, right? Like
That's the thing. Bungie can do whatever they want. That's the deal.
Exactly.
Bungie's does whatever they want.
Oh yeah,
like,
I guess we haven't talked about this deal, but yeah, I thought this deal was like they got ripped off, honestly. Like just like reading.
No.
Like, I know, like something I don't want to say this out loud. Like this is generally how I feel. I really feel like Bungie Bungie was the winner in this situation, but it really feels like
yeah, they were.
Like and then I see people in different chats, they're kind of explaining it to me, like the benefits for Sony.
Yeah.
And I'm like, okay, you buy a studio for $3 billion to maybe help them with live service games and get knowledge. And I don't think that's worth $3 billion.
Well,
You can't say anything to convince me.
Okay.
That's
Well,
worth $3 billion.
Hear me out, right? Like these companies are going for extreme amounts of money. It's not just Bungie, right? Like the value of all of these companies of video game investment and social and media investment is really high right now, right? Now Bungie created Halo originally and then went on to create Destiny, right? So for people that look at Bungie, even though you don't have a lot of IP, it's like Bungie
One
creates
IP.
Bungie creates a monster IP that will transcend a generation. It'll be one of the most played games of the generation, right? They have proven that with the Xbox generation, the 360 generation, and also the PlayStation generation. They've created brands that are household names, right? So there's
Yes.
very few developers out there that have that power, right? That have that ability, that have that creative vision, and go out there and actually fulfill on that promise of creating the next big thing, right? And Sony, with this acquisition, has to know what they're working on, because they're working on their next big thing, right? So if you're Sony and you can get marketing and all this stuff with their next big thing, like they did with Destiny originally, not only do you have that going forward with Destiny, but you're going to have that going forward with Bungie's next game. Plus, you're going to have the other game that they're making, which is because they're making games, not just one. They said future games.
Yeah.
Then they also, you have aspirations of going into multiple media, not just video games, right? So their IPs are potentially going to be used for movies, TV shows, which Sony, again, has Sony Film and TV and all this stuff, right? Then the other aspect is they do know how to make those big multiplayer things. And if your PlayStation, which we know is moving on from this model of, hey, we're just going to make a box and we're going to make things for the box, right? They're moving on from that. They've already said it several times. And just this last report came out yesterday that they're planning on launching 10 live service games by 2026, right? So they look at that infrastructure and the knowledge that Bungie has as unlocking the potential for them to be able to make this Spartacus cloud future multiple device ecosystem work, right? And I think for them, like 3.6 billion at the grand scheme of things, it may end up being like, wow, we got this piece that's going to affect our entire future in the video games industry for 3.6 billion. It seems like at that point, 10 years from now, you may look back at that and be like, wow, that was like nothing, right? But like, it just depends, man. But you can't like, you can't look at Bungie and just like, oh, it's just a game studio that makes Destiny, right?
I'm definitely not looking at it like that.
Yeah.
I'm just saying, like, there's other ways to get, like, basically what they want is to make live service games. And a lot of the original people, like, if they are looking at their original, like Halo and all this other stuff, all those people are either at other studios now or at 343. So if you're saying, like, I want to have developers who have industry experience with live service games, they can either build up a studio for that, which they I guess they can do for that same amount of money, or I guess what they, in their case, they just bought a $3 billion studio.
I mean, they're getting one with a proven track record of it's existing today. Like Destiny exists today, and they have the flow still going, right? Like, so even if like the original creators and stuff, like the people all there know how to operate this machine, right?
Sure.
And they are working on this next thing, so we don't know what the next thing is. And I think a lot of people always lose sight of, like, remember how big Bungie's next thing was when Destiny got announced, right? Everybody was looking forward to Bungie's next thing. When Bungie's next thing gets announced, it's going to be a massive deal. It's going to be all over the place. It's going to be marketed out the ass. It's going to be Sony behind all of it now, right? And then you're also going to have all the games media, everybody going to be super pumped. The whole Destiny community, right? Think how big the Destiny community is, right? They're going to be like waiting very intensely for this next thing. And Halo fans, a lot of people are, that like Bungie, you're still going to be waiting. Hey, what is Bungie going to make next? Because even if Destiny didn't click, for me, it's like, well, I still love Bungie, right? I still like the gameplay in Destiny. I just didn't like some of the like raids and all that kind of stuff. I wonder what the next thing is going to be.
Yeah, true.
So,
Yeah,
anyway, that's
true.
my
I don't
case
know.
for them. You know, I do think it's a lot, but still.
Yeah, like
That's,
I don't know. 3 billion is a
that's
lot, but for one IP, the way I'm seeing it is what the company has now. And yes, they have experience. Their engine is great. The talent is still
Their engine's
there.
not great.
I mean, it's good. It's still good.
That was the problem Destiny 1 had. They couldn't update the world because their engine like wouldn't allow it.
Well, because they're using like
okay. Well, the
They're
gameplay
using
is
Halo
solid
engine
enough.
Yeah.
from like 2001.
They're still using, I guess, the that same engine, right, from Halo.
Yeah, but they're not going to be on this next thing. They've been working
What's that
on.
called?
It was called Blam for Halo, but it's probably
There
still
you go.
same now.
Yeah. Yeah, they're still using that, but they have the talent. Is my whole point. But the reason why it was weird for me that they would buy a studio for $3 billion just to get that is because of what they have. Usually, when you assess buying a company, you're like, okay, what do I get with this company? And then in this case, it's more so you get one IP, and then you get the other games that are potentially coming that they definitely showed them behind closed doors before they, before they purchased them.
Oh yeah, this is a private
so-
company. It's not like a public
Yeah.
deal. So I mean, it's like here's what we're working on. Here's all this. You
Yeah.
know, like they can do all that. You know.
So you know they probably did that. They probably
Yeah.
showed them the other games coming up, and also Destiny. So, but usually when you assess a purchase, you are looking at, okay, how many IPs do I usually get with this? And in this case, besides the new games coming up, is just one. And $3 billion from one IP is crazy to me. I guess you
Yeah.
can take the history of the studio into account, and that creates reputation. It creates I guess a proven track record, as people will say. Like, oh, they made Halo in the past, they made Destiny now, so any future game is bound to be a hit. But what if it isn't?
No, people
I
thought
mean, I don't know.
people thought
I don't know.
Xbox and Microsoft were crazy for buying Mojang when they had one IP, right? And it
Called
was
a
like
day
That's
that,
true.
$2 billion.
That is true.
$2 billion for that, right?
Sony was looking to make Destiny TV show IP, something like that. So
Yeah. So they're Sony's looking to go multiple.
How much did they buy for Mojang?
It's like $2 billion, and that was a long time
Oh,
ago.
dang.
I thought it was
Yeah.
4,
Yeah.
wasn't it?
It could have been. I don't know. It was at least 2.
no, it was 2.
Oh, it
Two?
was
It was
2.
it was less than what this Bungie acquisition was.
Well,
Yeah.
I take it all back.
Well, and
take it
2
all
billion then is like, how much would
But
they go
they-
for now? You know what I mean?
But they
Like,
made their money since.
Oh,
made
yeah.
their money back since.
for sure.
Oh yeah, Minecraft
like-
is huge.
And that like a tweet I put out about this. It's like, for me, I felt like they did this acquisition more for be able to keep Bungie games on the PlayStation as well, plus having being able to make games as a service in the future for
Yeah.
PlayStation. So to keep that Spartacus subscription going, because that's the one thing PlayStation has lacked. You ask anybody, what's PlayStation's famous for? Single player, third person type
Yeah.
games. Not multiplayer, not co-op, not even really shooters. It's what it is. And for them, spending 3.6 billion now, in the long run, they will make back from either IPs and movies, TV shows, or the future games, because everything that Bungie's making, if it's through Bungie, is going to be multiplat. At least that's what
That's what they're saying on their
Bungie said.
FAQ. Yeah. And it's which is
Everything's
crazy.
multiplat.
It's craziest
So-
thing.
I didn't
for
think
me.
they would make this purchase either, because they're like 2 trillion in debt. So I didn't even see them doing this purchase.
Yeah.
But I guess
They still have the
I don't know.
ability to do things. Like a lot of people just look at cash reserves and all these different things, and all this stuff. Like companies like that are in massive debt and like about to go under, like do things all the time still. Like they manage to make things happen. I don't understand
they're-
all the workings of it, but
Yeah, apparently they
Yeah.
only have 1 billion left to spend or something like that.
right.
People
Yeah,
just going
what
around.
was their budget? They had like 6 billion or something. Maybe
I have no
Um,
idea.
I gotta see.
No, they
Like
had
left to spend for the year.
8 billion
8 billion.
8 billion that they had, and then they spent almost 4. So they spent almost half of it on this acquisition.
Yeah.
So the rest of it, they're either going to pick up small studios that, kind of like I wouldn't say House Marquee was a small studio, but other, what is it?
Fire
Nixus
Sprite,
and
Nixus.
Fire
You got
Sprites.
they
They
did
should get,
Blue
like,
Point,
Konami
which
or
was
something.
not too small.
Things like that. That's more Sony's like deal, but this is like, what like we've been talking about. This is Sony's like thing, getting something for games of service and being able to have that. Because if they lost Call of Duty and Destiny in one, in the going, because who knows who's gonna pick them up? It could have been Tencent, could have been Amazon. That would have been really bad because that's like all their multiplayer games.
Exactly.
On the PlayStation. So they were like, no, we got to make a move now. And people were like, no, this wasn't, and I think they put out, this was nothing to do what Microsoft did, but it kind of did.
I mean, this was in the works longer than the Microsoft deal.
Yeah, 6 months.
Yeah. So it kind of, it felt like, because they saw what they did with Bethesda and they're like, shit, we need to do something. And then, they were like, they were probably hearing rumblings of Microsoft looking to get somebody else. They don't know. They probably didn't know who it was, but they knew that Microsoft was coming in, and that's why they probably started doing talks with Bungie. And Microsoft was like, when they went to Bungie, and Bungie's like, we want, what was it? Didn't they want like?
I think Bungie was shopping
1.
around. Like,
I'm just surprised Bungie
Yeah.
sold, to be honest. Like, they've been burned twice. Like,
yeah, but
Yeah.
I think they need
I
the
mean, they
infrastructure.
literally got everything they wanted,
Yeah.
and they literally got everything.
I think they need the cash for their next projects, and I think that also you got to look at the market the way it is right now, and it keeps going up and up and up. Like, a lot of these companies are deciding to sell now because there may never be a better time, right? And this consolidation era that's happening, like, because there's rumors of them shopping around, like, to Microsoft, and potentially like all these other companies are interested. So, like Psycho saying, for me, like, Sony buying them is a good thing, right? Because at least even if they did end up making those games exclusive in the future, like, that's still at least on console and not forced immediately in the cloud, like from like Amazon or Facebook or
We definitely don't want Tencent, because them being part of whatever the holdings of China, People's Republic of China. Imagine having all those people's public private information now they have. Yeah, that's why Tencent, I don't like them.
No.
All right, hold on. I want to address something really quick. The Fifth Horseman 5 says they are not $2 trillion in debt. Jesus, I hear this everywhere. Those numbers are in Japanese yen. That's about 2 billion USD. Common sense. They don't have the debt of the entire US deficit.
Yeah.
I mean, every site I could just
it's yen.
quick Google.
It's yen.
But quick Google I'm looking at, it says freaking $2 trillion and $2.09 trillion with Sony's debt. If everyone is saying it, then I don't know.
Yeah,
it's
yen. That would be insane. Right, that's like Microsoft.
It has freaking. It doesn't say yen though.
Yeah, Microsoft themselves is like a $2 trillion company. Like, as the market cap, like, Sony's not going to be that much in debt. You know what I mean?
Let me see.
Like, it's yen for sure.
All right,
So,
I'm gonna look this up, but let's see. Every site I'm looking at, they're all making mistakes then, because they all say
Google. They probably did the same thing you did.
Yeah, it's.
I looked up Google.
Fifth Horseman says it's
it says dollars, not yen.
Yeah,
This
I've
site,
seen that
like Yahoo.com, $1 trillion in debt, like $2 trillion in debt. So I don't know what
2 trillion yen in debt or dollars.
It doesn't say yen in any of these sites.
2 trillion in debt. It just say just 2 trillion in debt.
Does it have the little yen symbol, which is like a Y?
No, it does not.
It
just has the American dollar,
it's
and it says 2.
It's yen.
The freaking. Okay. I mean, if
They're
it's
not
yen,
$2
it's
trillion
yen.
in
I'm
debt.
just-
Like that's just like insane. Like that. Like I'm like
I mean,
Fifth Horseman is like 100% on this. I'm just saying because
I
for
know.
them-
I'm just saying what I'm looking on like 5 different websites, and they all say the same thing.
That's
So
because they all copy and paste
they
each
all
other.
copy and pasted each other.
Yeah,
Okay. Well,
they learned from
that's funny.
Jason Schreier. What?
What? Huh?
So as according, all I see is according to the Sony's group, 2.9 trillion with 773.29 billion in long-term debt and 1.32 trillion in current debt.
I'm
But,
like trying to find a site that says like the yen, but I can't find anything. It's interesting.
Yeah, I think I saw Twitter, somebody posted, they found it. It did say yen, but a lot of these news organizations, they just are not.
That's crazy that
fixing
many
the
is
mistake.
wrong. Like Wall
Yeah.
Street Strategy News says
They're just
like,
using the dollar
insane.
sign symbol because they don't have a yen sign on their keyboard.
Yeah, they probably just
Wow.
lazy journalism. But anyway, it just, for me, like this whole Bungie deal, it's cool. You know, it's all multi-plat anyways, so it's not like like what Bethesda and what could be Activision and Blizzard, Microsoft keeping them anywhere where Game Pass is, you know, because that's what their thing is. When they Phil Spencer and did that roundtable with was it Pete Hines and what's his name? Anyways, they're gonna keep that exclusive to wherever Game Pass is. So for me to see that these are gonna be multi-plat, it's not a big deal. It's still a good thing. You know, we're gonna able to experience the next Bungie game. Now, you know, the exclusives and things like that. I mean, like you know, if they get exclusive content only on PlayStation, that could happen. That we won't see on Xbox or anywhere else. That could be a thing, but you know, outside of that, it's not a detriment to personally. But
Yeah, I just put the information in the chat box for you 3-bit. It's just look at their Wikipedia, and it explains like their market value and all the stuff, and everything's in yen because it's a Japanese company, right?
You know, it's weird when Wikipedia has the information for you and not all these other sites.
Well, these other sites are they're just like websites of like blogs, right? Like
But
made
you
by
would think you could
people.
trust Wall Street StrategyNews.com.
What is
I don't
that?
trust any of them.
I never like that's
They're
just
supposed to be Wall Street.
it's blogs, and I think like they just like Fifth Horseman said in the chat, another good thing. They're just assuming the people reading that stuff are gonna know, right? Because it's not gonna be your average person that's like reading that kind of stuff.
Also, like the New York Times shit messes up all the time, but they don't ever fix the article they messed up, and they make a new article saying, "Oh,
Yeah.
we messed up," and then no one ever sees that.
Yeah.
So it's like,
I mean,
Yeah.
it just use a little like common sense of this, right? Like, Sony's not gonna have the same amount of in debt that Microsoft has as one of the largest corporations in the entire world, right? If Microsoft is not dead, but just market value, right? Like Sony's debt isn't going to match Microsoft's market value.
I mean, it says they have net cash reserves of 1.8 trillion. You know, I will come
It's
back
in
to
yen.
you.
It's in yen.
I know. But
It's in
dang.
yen.
anyway, we want to talk about the Halo TV
yeah.
show trailer.
Yes.
Uh,
And well, I gotta say one more thing about Bungie. One way to waste $3.6 billion is to acquire them and make them make Killzone. If that's what happens, then it's a waste of money.
Killzone will be multi-plat. Then Killzone will be multi-plat.
they literally
like-
have the studio that made Killzone already, right?
Yeah. Yes.
Insomniac.
Gorilla.
They already
Gorilla.
or Gorilla. Who am I thinking of with Insomniac?
Resistance.
Resistance. Okay. So they have some talent for first-person shooters. I just
Yeah,
refuse-
just not
refuse
multiplayer.
to go there.
The other thing, okay, I'm not saying Killzone or Resistance are bad games, right? So if people out there, oh, you're just shitting on Killzone or Resistance. Okay. Put this into perspective. Bungie's made Destiny one of the biggest franchises of all time and made Halo one of the biggest franchises of all time. Killzone is dead.
Yeah, the Halo killer.
The Halo killer is dead. Like the graphics showpiece that was okay. It was a decent game, like a good game, right? But those games never amounted to really taking off, right? They never accomplished much in the mainstream. They never really grabbed an audience. They never did all this stuff, and really also aesthetically and stylistically, it's not Bungie style. Like,
yeah,
you don't like bring somebody in and say, hey, you're gonna make that. It's like completely unlike them, you know, like it just wouldn't make sense. Like, you got Bungie's next IP that isn't even announced yet is going to be worth way more than what Killzone is. You know what I mean? Like,
I mean, Halo was really smart when they started. I mean, they had the books for people that really cared about the story outside of the games, even though I wanted those stories in the games. But they were really smart with how they built up their universe, because people saw it as more than just I don't know, this game. And I feel like with Killzone and Resistance, they kept touting themselves as like the Halo killer, and it never really felt I don't know, outside of like Halo and Call of Duty, like those are like the main games for a long time, with like how
Resistance
good,
more felt like a fear game, not like a Halo game.
yeah, like those two games feel still to this day, Call of Duty, Halo feels amazing. And I guess they just didn't have the know-how to expand that, but now they do. Like, you could say what you want about Destiny or Bungie knows how to make a very good first-person shooter. And like, yes, there are some grindy elements to the whole thing of Destiny, which is why they probably purchased them, and there's a lot of different players, and Destiny makes a lot of money for sure. People buy a lot of stuff in Destiny and all that, but
yeah,
we'll see. If they just buy them to make Killzone, I'm gonna be a little weirded out, but we'll see.
so
I don't see them making Killzone, because that'd be a silly
Killzone Infinite.
it would be a silly freaking acquisition for.
Well, that's the good thing. Bungie gets to decide what they want to do. So
Exactly, and that whole contract is, people need to kind of look into and hear what Bungie and Sony are saying.
what's funny is Bungie doesn't even have to use Sony as like a publisher. They could technically go to Microsoft as a publisher. Like,
yeah, they could do whatever they want. They're just part of Sony now, but they
Sony just gives them a paycheck to make a game. That's it.
Yeah. Pretty much, man. It's crazy. This is a first for gaming, personally, but
yeah, from a first party.
Another first, a first Halo TV show. Holy crap!
Yes, yeah, that's what we were going to talk about.
12 billion in debt, I think. 12 billion in debt,
something like that. I have no clue. But whatever it is, Halo TV show is coming in March. This new trailer hit the other day during the AFC championship game, I believe.
Yep.
And it had probably a pretty large audience to see it, right? And wow. Now I know Jasper has some concerns, right? But I mean, just overall,
is Corona not blue enough for you, Jasper?
Yeah, that's one of them.
Yeah, overall, I see this and I'm like, my God, it is one of the most amazing things I have ever seen, because it's finally a big budget, fully fleshed out Halo thing that's going to be on the screen, besides a game, right? Not in this Halo Nightfall stuff, not the not the anime stuff they did before, not the like other little cartoon shows and stuff. Like this is full on huge production Halo 1 era stuff with, you got the Prophets, you got freaking elites, you got, I mean, did you see the close up of the elite's face?
Yeah.
It wasn't great.
It wasn't great.
I don't know.
Man, you remember Halo Nightfall when you had that elite walking around like the like little pond area at the park, and it's like like it just looks so freaking stupid and fake. You know, this is like, this shows a close up of that elite's face, and I'm like, oh my god, finally, you know.
To me, it just feels a little too much like cosplay right now. Like I feel like they could have put a little more budget into the costumes,
into the Spartans costumes.
Yeah, just like
I can see that. It's always hard to do like big, you know.
Yeah, it's hard
suits.
to do like big armor.
That's
like,
why the
on a normal
stormtroopers
like,
always look really stupid too. You know, the stormtroopers always like look like they're just guys wearing like plastic shit all over them, right?
Yeah.
It's weird because sometimes it looks really great, and sometimes I could see what Jasper's saying.
Yeah,
it's weird. Like certain shots, I'm like, wow, that looks like it just jumped out of the game. And
for example,
shots,
Boba Fett has a lot of that shit. I mean, like you can see like those pig guys, the green pig guys when they're walking. You can see their like legs, like the costume of their like legs, like bunch up. You know what I mean? From their like fake stuff. So like other big budget TV shows like Mandalorian and Boba Fett and some of these, like they got their, you know, issues with some of this stuff as well, right? I'm just happy to see Halo finally getting that attention, you know. So we'll start with Jasper since you're going to start off all negative and shit. Let's get this out of the way.
Okay.
All right. What was your first impressions, and like what are you excited for, and what are you worried about?
Excited for big budget Halo TV show finally happening.
Yes.
Problems
okay.
are
dang it.
overall story. I have a feeling the story is going to be a little
like who's that blonde lady walking around?
Cliche and like cheap. Like they're going to be like, it's not going to be as creative as I would like. It's going to be like, we need to go to this point and we have to get this object to do it. And it's like, it's just going to be a race between the Covenant and the humans to get to the Halo ring. And it's going to be like kind of simple and already done. So like, I don't know how to explain.
It sounds amazing to me so far. Keep going.
I don't think we're going to get like much new, like story wise. And like, I don't know how to explain it, but I'm just not feeling it. And then the desert people, I'm just gonna call them the desert people because I don't, wherever they are, the
New
people
Mombasa, probably, I think, I don't know.
Normal humans. No, it wasn't on Earth.
Wasn't?
They have like guns we have today, which was a thing. It was kind of weird,
right?
It wasn't like sci-fi weapons and stuff. It was just like, oh yeah, he has an AK that the Russians built. I was like, what?
Right. Well,
I think in like things, I don't know, was it Fort Unto Dawn and all that, I think they had similar type weapons. So it depends on where, you know, the timeline this is all taking place.
Which we get some cues from that, right? Like with like where you see like the elite, this is during the Covenant human war.
Well, see, the thing is, like, this whole story is just like, it's separate. It's just like it's kind of just like a retelling of the Halo universe. Like, this is gonna go down its own path. So it has nothing to do with like the Halo games. It's just its own unique story in the Halo universe, which I feel like they could have done something in the Halo universe we already have and told the stories there, and not just make a new Halo universe.
Right.
Yeah, unless that was like Microsoft's call to make, you know, keep it kind of separate. Let's see how season 1 goes, and then possibly go canon with some other things. You know what I mean? Because they can do whatever they want story wise. So
it just gives them the freedom to kind of step outside the games and not have to strictly follow what the games did. So I understand why they did that, but if they go too far, you know.
Like who's that blonde lady walking around that's infecting people with worms?
The hunter worms?
That
Yeah.
that
I have no
is-
idea.
It's someone
that
that's
lady-
raised by it's a human that was captured by the Covenant and was raised by the Covenant.
yeah,
Okay.
and I think those are the flood.
That's not the flood, it's hunter worms.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
I was hoping
people are
you
saying
said
it's the Locolo worms or whatever they're called,
Yeah.
right? I thought it was flood the first time I saw it too, because I was like, oh shit, it's
Yeah.
flood, right? Because I've never seen the worms like that. Or at least I don't remember. Maybe I have, but as far as like I'm used to seeing
yeah.
like just the hunters walking around, right?
I think that like what's happening there is the Covenant knows that the humans are the only ones that can activate Forerunner artifacts. So they captured her, raised her, and now that like she's just walking through to like capture the hunter, to capture the Forerunner artifact that the humans took back. So she has the hunters like protecting her as she walks through the human base.
Oh, okay. Well, that makes sense,
That's a
lore
good-
master.
Yeah, that's pretty good.
Because you saw Chief pick up the sacred icon, which is going to be the location for the Halo ring.
Yeah.
So the humans know where the Halo ring is, but the Covenant don't yet. So she's going into the human base to steal that back to learn the location of the Halo ring. So the Covenant can race the humans there.
I think Jasper was on the set, and that's the actual.
Yeah.
He's actually on set right
Makes
now.
sense.
That's what that.
I told you the
That's
story's
fine.
simple. We know it.
That's okay though. I don't mind a simple story. At least I can follow it, right? For me, it's gonna come down to like
It's about the journey.
Like
I think they-
Mandalorian's story is not too crazy. Hey,
great-
find this little
It-
green goblin thing and
Yeah.
then escort it around the galaxy and protect it.
See, like to me, like I think they kept it simple for a larger audience to
Yeah.
get captivated, suck you into the universe, and then start kind of getting a little bit more complex. And now they got more people invested into the TV show. And
Yeah.
then season 2, 3, 4, however long they're gonna go with this, then they really can go in depth with the lore and everything about Halo and really give us a captivating I mean, that's how like most seasons go. The first season, you know, they'll get you with the action or titty shots and things like that. I mean, Game of Thrones, same thing. And you know, there's
Mm-hmm.
they get you really involved in it, and then they
Is that why you got
go
into
in
Game
depth.
of Thrones?
Yes, I love the titty shots. But
Okay.
no, so that's what could be why it seems a little bit simplistic right now with, you know.
Yeah, they just got to get
story-wise.
like the people that's not into Halo to make it a
Exactly. And
successful show. Yeah.
yes, because if you only have fanboys, that's not gonna pay the bills, you know. So you gotta get a larger audience, you know, and when boyfriends and girlfriends are, you know, their girlfriends are not into gaming, but they're like, oh, this is nice, I like this show, and they get into it because you know, their boyfriends are into it, and then, you know what I mean, so more people, and you know, we're get into the universe of like, oh, what's this Halo about, and then they pick up an Xbox and, you know, play the Halo games, and it's all
Yeah,
marketing
I know
games.
that's actually smart, because when people like watch like Spider-Man, No Way Home, the games sales will go up too. Just, you know, people like seeing things like from movies to games, and then that
Mhm.
helps out each other for sure. But this is the silver timeline, so they can get away with a lot of change if they wanted to. I have a feeling the reason why they didn't want to use Steve Downes is because they're going to show his face a lot.
Yeah.
Especially for like flashbacks of like him growing up in the Spartan program and stuff, and they're probably going to want to show his face. Maybe.
Well, what's weird is though they got Jen Taylor's voice, but not Jen Taylor's face.
No, that's Jen Taylor.
That was
Yeah,
not
that's
Jen
that-
Taylor. It's the Cortana.
Yeah,
That's her
they-
voice, but it's not her actor.
I thought it was. I thought people were saying that's actually her, like as actor.
Well, if not, it looks like her. Wow.
I don't
I
think
didn't
it
know that.
is.
Yeah.
I think it's just her voice.
No, it's her, man. Like they actually got like her face and everything. She actually did the acting on it. So that's why, like, at
Yeah.
first I was like, oh, this is weird for Cortana, you know. Then when I found out it's actually Jen Taylor, I was like, oh, okay, well, hey, that can
Yeah.
respect that. Although I do think
Yeah.
maybe they could make her more blue, like it just
But-
or purple, you know,
Um,
one or the other, you know.
There was someone
That's-
on Reddit posted like I fixed Halo Cortana and they just put like a blue and purple digital effect on her and it's like good. Let's have
Yeah,
that.
yeah.
I think
Well,
people
that-
just need to Sonic the situation and get them to
Well,
change it.
that's what they were like. Oh, look, they got Jen Taylor to do Cortana, but not Steve Downes to do Master Chief. But I mean, Steve Downes is older, and
No,
he
that's
can't
I don't
really.
I don't feel like that's what I feel like the reason why they didn't do it is because they're gonna take off his helmet. And if his voice was different from when he had his helmet on to off, it'd just be drastically crazy.
Well, yeah, that's what he's saying. Like,
It-
you can't do like you can't
This-
put Steve Downes in there and have his head off, and you see a 70-year-old man. You know what I mean? So it's like
Did you hear Master Chief's that one sentence that he did when he said Cortana, Cortana, I need you. Did you hear that towards the end?
yeah. Mhm.
Yeah, you can hear Master Chief. He said he has like literally one sentence. It's not bad.
But he
It's not
says
like-
something before then too, like when he's like when he touches this thing and he's like, I feel different now or whatever, he's talking at that point too in the trailer, and
Oh, is he?
Yeah.
I was so freaking just the energy sword going through the door. I was just like fucking. I was like, yes. So I was like, oh, I didn't hear.
Because
Master
what I
Chief
was
talk.
thinking was, I thought that the same actor that played Halsey is the same person playing Cortana. They just put her voice, Jen Taylor's voice, over the Cortana version.
well, Jen Taylor was saying that was her on Twitter.
Guess
So-
her voice. It looks like her too. It's weird.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure
If it isn't.
I think I've been seeing on Twitter that it's her. Like, and I was like, oh, okay. Like, I'm not gonna complain about this because it's pretty cool at that point. You know what I mean? I think it's her. It looks like her. Just with the wig on. It looks like her with a wig.
Yeah, I mean, you can tell that's a wig, which is that's where the cheapness comes in.
Right. Yeah. So, like, okay. So as far as his voice, right? I thought that this was going to be one of the most important things about the TV show, right? Like, because you're playing this masked character with a helmet on most of the time, and you're going to be like, you're kind of this mysterious, like, semi, like, you got AI in your brain, you got like, you got super soldier stuff all throughout you, where they've done all these things to you, right? And I thought the portrayal of him was going to be very important for the success of the show, right? Because if he's just out there, hey, what's up, guys? I'm Master Chief. How's it going? I'm gonna go save this shit over here. Like, it's me. I'm the chief. Like,
That's what Chief is. He's the badass. He
Yes.
fucking blows up ships by jumping out of other ships.
But if he's like animated and stuff like that, it like, it takes away from like what Chief is in the games, right? Like, Chief in the games is like, he doesn't say much, but when he does, it's badass, right? He's kind of got this like, I take this from what Steve Downes said himself. He's like, it's very like Clint Eastwood-esque, where it's like very like few words, but they have big impact, right? And because they want you to fill in the gaps of what is he thinking, and he's kind of speaking for you, the character. But in this, we're gonna see more of the story, so he's gonna be talking more, right? So it's gonna be very important how they do this. And I was very happy when I heard his take on the voice, right? Because he's not copying Steve Downes. You can't do that, right? There's only really one Master Chief, in my opinion, and that's Steve Downes. Pablo Schreiber's got a lot to live up to there. But he did in this trailer, what I heard, the sample sizes was as good as I could possibly hope for, right? Because it's got that Mandalorian-esque vibe to it. It's just kind of subdued, casual, like more like soft spoken, but also like to the point, right?
yeah, I just hope they don't make him a bitch like they do Boba Fett.
Yeah, you think they will? I mean, he look at him when he's kicking those elites' ass. You saw that trailer clip
That
with the
fight was pretty
man
bad.
with the two elites, and he's like
Yeah.
ducks down, and he like hits him with his assault rifle and stuff. Like, that was
Yeah.
crazy, dude.
Let's see. What's your review, Jasper?
Of the trailer.
Yeah, out of 10.
Well, my hype level is carrying it more than I'm blinded by my bias.
I'm
Use
blinded
your
by
bias. Yes, give it.
It's an 8 because I'm biased. I can't judge it.
Right. What about
Nice,
you,
nice.
3-bit? Where what's your hype level here?
So I watched this trailer many times, and my first reaction, my hype level was very high. I showed it to my dad immediately.
Mhm.
Me and him used to play Halo growing up a lot, and he was psyched for the show, and he's like barely impressed by anything. So that was like, it's like, oh,
Yeah.
it was really cool to see, like what we were saying earlier, his costume looks really good in some shots and really like more cosplay in others, but overall I think it looks great.
Yeah, I think he needs to work on his walk.
Yeah, he's a walk, he's a little,
Yeah, he's a little too like,
it's
you know.
Well,
I
I
think
think
it's
that's
hard
because
to
he has
walk in
that
there.
cock piece that's like in between his legs. He can't walk anymore.
It's called the cod
I think
piece, Jasper. It's called the
that's
cod
not
piece.
that's not even what bothers me. It's the neck part sometimes.
Yeah.
I want it to just be like straight, I just want it to be like, but it has like some wrinkles and stuff. Anyways, that's just my pickiness because I love Halo. My complaints that I see is yes, this is another timeline and stuff, but I was really confused of why I see like a modern day Jeep in Halo is just so weird to me, and like seeing an AK-47 in Halo is so weird. Like, I don't know if you guys seen that, but the people were shooting regular
That's what I
AK-47s.
said.
I know, but it threw me off. For the most part,
Not
I think
every gun can be super amazing sci-fi special space guns.
This is 500 years in the future from now. We're
Yeah.
still using AK.
It's leftover.
Just
it's
imagine-
leftover stuff from Afghanistan and stuff like that. It's
But
like,
okay, Matt, imagine like a P90 in a Halo. Like, it's just weird to Matt, or like we have DLC for Halo Infinite, and they give you like an AK-47. It's just weird. It's just weird in Halo.
Yeah, but if I
'Cause-
were to see a colony on another planet, that's like, you know what I mean? Like, is it actually an AK-47 or does it just look like an AK-47? You know what I mean?
I don't know. I guess I haven't thought about it like that. Our guns could exist in the Halo universe just because we always see like the sci-fi guns.
Well, everything that Master Chief has is military issue weapons, so they're gonna have the elite top tier weapons updated. That's why we see SMGs and pistols and the assault, the AR, but the AR is different from anything. So the people on Mubasa, if they have AK-47, maybe they're just replicants because that's all they could afford to.
Yeah, I imagine that
weapon
people on the
wise.
colonies are not going to be able to have the same shit that like Chief has.
So
You know
they
what I
could
mean?
be repurposed weapons, and that's what we.
I mean, Earth exists in the Halo universe, right? So Earth's history would exist too. So it wouldn't be far fetched to think that like a lot of tech could come on these colonies of humans, right? That all have Earth as their home base, like with stuff. Even if it's in the future, like you could have like lower, cheaper shit that's like more like old school style, like, and then you have your newer, more advanced stuff. That's the way I look at it anyway.
I just don't see that because like you're gonna make a colony thousands of light years away, but you're gonna take the stupid AKs that we have now and take them there instead of new shit.
Well, maybe that's how they know what to make. Like maybe like they're like, okay, we don't have a lot of tech on this planet. Like we're here, we're not very rich. Think of like Tatooine, right?
AKs are easy to make too. So
yeah, like
So
they're
if there's
junkers.
so if they could have like if there's a weaponsmith that knew Earth's old style weapon, the easiest weapons they can make is an AK-47. It's well purposed. It handles and it lasts the longest out of their what is it? Reliable. So I mean it. We don't know exactly why they're using AKs. They hopefully they could possibly touch on that, why we're seeing AKs.
That's a small nitpick though, so I'll just it's just like
But no, it's not really a small nitpick, because if you're trying to be cohesive within the Halo universe, all we've ever seen is, whatever Master Chief has, and and the Covenant weapons, of course, or Forerunner technology.
ODST, yeah, UNSC stuff. I don't
Yeah,
see
so
where the
everything-
AKs are. Where are they?
it's like at the opening shot where there's like the desert people and they're like a gate blows up in front of them.
Was it? I think yeah, it was in the beginning with. I remember seeing like the explosions, like the sand part, and then they had AK-47s, and they have like regular vehicles too, which I guess again, it's so
Well, they
weird to
had-
me.
Well, look at Reach though. They had like a regular looking vehicle. So I mean, it just depends really, like. on
Yeah,
what
but
they're
besides that, I'm
into.
excited. I'm excited for it. I think my hype level is probably even higher than Jasper's, despite all my criticism just now. I think it's like 9.
Right.
Like I'm ready for this show.
Yeah.
I just have
It's
my nitpicks, but I can't always also my nitpicks aren't super valid because it's another timeline. So and they're just things that I find weird. Besides like the costume thing, I think they should figure that out. And also Cortana being blue. I think we need to Sonic this situation where they change Sonic and how he looked, and people just keep complaining about it until they make her more blue. I don't think it takes that much to just change the hue a little bit and do some.
Yeah. So
but
this is the gun that you didn't like right there. That guy's.
Yeah.
I also saw like big huge
yeah.
turrets that look very Halo in that scene. And,
yeah, they have those. They're actually using the same sound effects from like Halo 3 or 4 for that too.
So, I don't know, man. I'm not. I'm sorry. I'm just gonna say it. That's a weird nitpick. That's a weird nitpick.
Is it though?
One little
Have you
gun
ever
in the
seen-
opening shot. I mean, come on, guys. Really, like
Have you seen an AK-47 in?
I don't even. Is that an
a?
AK-47? I don't even know if that's an AK-47.
That is definitely an AK-47.
Will somebody in the chat tell me if that's 100% like a guns expert that's like watching this FunPop? Will you tell me? Will you tell me if that's an AK-47?
All you gotta do is.
I mean,
Google
3-bit
AK-47.
thinks he knows it's 100. It's an AK-47 because he just had gunshots in his neighborhood. I think he's thinking he's an expert on this. But I can't look at that and say, hey, that's an AK-47. I don't know enough about guns. Now, for you out there, people, if it's an AK-47, maybe it's like, these are humans. Maybe it's like a relic. Hey, 500 years ago, this is my great grandfather's 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 gun. And like I got it here.
Put a link in the Zoom thing where it's someone fixed Cortana. You should just look at that. They put 2 different variants, a blue one and a purple one.
Okay. It's loading slowly. All I see is a black screen. Oh, here we go. Oh yeah. Just put a blue hue effect over her. Yep. Still Jen Taylor, right? I don't have any problem with Jen Taylor playing Cortana, right? There's some people out there saying like mean things. You know what I mean? Like she's not sexy enough. Ooh, we want to be able to get off on Cortana on this TV show. Like okay, like hey, Cortana, she looks.
Well, we haven't seen her lower half, so we don't know how skin tight that is.
Oh, jeez.
It's just Psycho's point. You gotta get the tits in there to bring in viewers.
Oh, jeez. All right, so I think that's where some of these people are coming from. Honestly, you know what I mean? Like for me, like the voice character looks great. It's just that I would like that blue effect just for nostalgia reasons, right? We'll see. Like I don't know why they didn't, but she did look very like lifelike, right?
Yeah.
So that was like it was kind of weird. And in a world where they can have that like life of AI and they have AK-47 still, it's crazy.
All right.
And but they're using BRs, and so it's like everything that Master Chief is using and the Spartans
Yeah.
are using are
Yeah, they usually have
the-
equivalents of other guns.
Well,
That's sort of like
in-
outguns, but not
in game.
outguns.
I see the
In the
AR,
game.
I see energy swords, I see the turrets, I see
BR
rocket
at the
launchers,
end.
I see a battle rifle at the end, I see Covenant ships, I see even here he's carrying a different weapon. When he's about to touch the thing,
So
he's got like a commando.
might as well add a McDonald's. Where's
Yeah.
the McDonald's? Where's the Chick-fil-A's? Huh? Some things
Oh
are
my
just
gosh.
weird, man. Okay.
Is it an
Sometimes things are
AK-47?
just weird.
I don't know.
Yes.
It definitely is.
Okay.
I'll have to look at that trailer and let you guys know what I think. Oh, I asked my
Okay,
brother,
well, she's
he's
got a
in the-
little bit of a
he's
blue
in the military.
effect, doesn't she? Like,
He's a
okay.
weapons expert.
Like, I see like blue sparkles in her hair.
I think that's just glitter from the wig.
I mean, it's all right. It's all right. It's yeah.
It's
It
definitely
should
Jen
be
Taylor.
more- but yeah, I don't know. I don't know if they're trying to keep it like how she was a hologram, and that's why she was totally blue. Or they're trying to make it more futuristic and have her look more human-esque. I don't know. I don't know. I mean, we'll see.
What's your hype level, Psycho?
Hype level? Oh,
Yeah.
it's fucking like 9.5. It's just I did not notice. I didn't notice the weapons that Jasper brought up. Or
I mean, I watched this trailer like 20, 30 times. So you
Yeah.
I watched it about a dozen times, but I never really saw the weapon. Like I wasn't focusing on the weapons. I was just looking at other things, that I'm trying to look at and pick up and things like that. Yeah, the Cortana not being blue. I was like, okay. I kind of his voice was good. It wasn't horrible to the point was like that is not Master Chief at all. That
Yeah.
could be it's plausible. It could work, depending on his dialogue. Just like how like the Mandalorian, how he's like very chill and just like cool, calm, collective, and in battle. But I mean, what we saw the battle scenes of when he was fighting the two elites, that was freaking awesome. The elite plunging his energy sword through the door. I mean,
yeah.
that was just like that was cool. Could the elite probably get a little bit better? Um, Maybe a little bit more his armor a little bit more realistic. Same thing with the Spartans. It could have. But outside of that, it it felt. I mean, seeing the BR, seeing how Chief is handling himself in the fight, and it just felt like I was like, they are actually doing. They're on the right page. They're not hitting every single mark right like 100%, but the majority of it, they're doing a good job at it. So like I said, like we'll see how season 1 goes, and if it gets, if it is the best TV show that we've gotten.
The good thing is Paramount renews trash TV shows to 4 seasons. So
yeah, and we'll see. We'll see how things are, and because season 2 will definitely be we'll see how this content goes, how lore is introduced into this, and I mean and that lady with the worms. Like I said, I thought it was the flood, but that was fucking
those
badass.
hunters.
She was just like fucking strolling, like, "What's up? You're not phasing me." And she's just fucking just strolling. I'm like, "Yo, who is this chick?"
Yeah.
I wanted to know more already, and that's a good thing.
My hype level is
Yeah.
at a 10. You guys can't phase it with your AK nonsense and stuff like this.
Hey, I sent you a picture of an AK. It's the same gun. Confirmed. 3D confirmed.
Hey,
Where's
but we
this
did get a
picture? I don't
Warthog.
see it.
in the Zoom chat.
Oh,
It's a freaking we get the Warthog in the TV show, so I wonder if it's the same from what is it, Hoonigans.
There's like so many people have built
Yeah.
warthogs.
Just so people watching know, we're all biased, by the way. We all love Halo.
Yeah.
Just letting you guys know. Like, if this trailer looked amazing to you, cool. I actually tried to ask people who don't watch Halo what they thought about it, and they're like, "Oh, it's pretty cool." I'm like, "Oh, okay." Just because it's hard for me to.
Yeah, I
see
hold
outside.
Halo is a really high standard. It's like
Yeah,
it's got to be like almost perfect to get like a 10
Yeah.
out of 10 for me.
For
At least they're not doing the Uncharted, like
Uncharted
take
route.
on this. You know, that's what I'm glad. I am so glad.
They're honoring somewhat of the legacy of Halo. I mean, not even somewhat. They are honoring like the Halo feel and look for sure.
Yes.
We all have our nitpicks, but it's like it's very close to the game. Like Master Chief looks pretty much like he jumped out of Infinite, or so that's really cool. The aliens, like the Sangheili elites are very hard to do. I'm sure in CGI, because they are supposed to be bigger than Master Chief, but then you have to make Master Chief look massive as well. He's like 7 feet tall. I think they're like 11 feet or something.
Well, these elites are a lot better than Nightfall.
I can't
So-
remember Nightfall, but
Yeah,
I
I
remember
watched
that
that
was
one time
terrible.
and-
God, it was.
Yeah, it was not good. And even like those little shorts that we saw, like even Forward Unto Dawn, you could tell that they were CGI'd. You know, they didn't feel like.
But that's what I liked about Forward Unto Dawn. It told its own story. It didn't try to like end the universe. It didn't try to like just remake the whole
Is that
universe.
the one with
you know?
Lasky in like
Yeah.
in boot camp or whatever, like
Yes.
training? Yeah,
Yeah.
it was pretty good.
Yeah.
You know, it was a good show. Not enough
For the budget and like
right. Not enough badass Halo stuff happening though for me till the very end, and it was very short lived. Right, it was a cool moment,
Yeah.
but in that
Well,
moment, it's
Master
like,
Chief-
oh, this is really low budget.
yeah.
You know,
And this is a whole lot higher budget, so we could see it get better as time goes on. You know, definitely they'll have a bigger budget to make a better production value for this when if it gets praised for season 2, and we can see better armor, better elites, more realistic weapons for you, Jasper.
they just need to disguise it as an AK a little bit better, probably for you guys.
Yeah, they
right?
need to put some futuristic kit modeling on there and
Right.
Shoot photon blasts.
So we're all hyped for it. Jasper's an 8, 3-bits a 9. What were you again, Psycho?
9.5.
9.5. I'm a 10.
Yes, sir.
I don't care about little nitpicky shit like that, honestly. I never that stuff never like stands out to me. Like, oh, this thing, they ruined the episode. You know, like I just.
it's not going to ruin the episode.
Yeah.
It just kind of pulls you out of it. It's like,
Right,
wait,
I hear
how
you.
did this shit from our time get into something 500 years from now? It's like,
Yeah.
what the fuck?
And I get it. You know, certain things do bother me with some things. You know what I mean? So it's like it depends on like what hits you, and it's like, oh,
Actually,
come on.
I actually had a Twitter debate again with somebody on how what is it? Is it Kate or Kai 125 Spartan?
Yeah.
Because she walks with some sass, and this individual is like, why is this Spartan walking with so much sass? And I was like, because it's a female, so she is moving her hips a bit more, I guess, you know, to that's how it's, you know, it's, and he just went on this whole rant, and I'm like, okay, bro, you have a good day. I'm
Yeah.
done with you. I'm done.
People are strange out there, you know, with their like, oh my god, you can't say this, you can't say that, you know, all this kind of stuff, right? Anyway, moving on from that, we do have another TV show that we want to talk about before we leave here, and that is
But
the
we can't
book.
talk about it.
Well, we're not going to talk about what happened in the last episode because I have not seen the last episode, and if you guys tell me what happened in the last episode, there's going to be consequences. I don't.
Have
I
you watched
wanted-
Boba Fett?
I'm on literally the first episode.
Oh.
Yeah, he's way behind.
Oh my god.
Yeah.
I know.
All right,
I've watched all
let's
but the
skip
last episode.
You can
skip to 5 and 6.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I mean,
I was watching the first one and I'm like, I'm wondering where it's headed and
alright.
everything. He's like, I'm on the part where I guess they're literally in the beginning where they're like beating him with the stick and he's in the sand or
Yeah.
whatever
Yeah.
the little things.
See,
The Tuscan part is cool. I like that.
the first few episodes, you have a lot of those type of things, and it's like that's some of my favorite parts from the first few episodes, right? So I think they're doing a good
5
job
and
with that.
6. But 5 and 6 though 3-bit.
I think 6
What I
might
heard.
be the best episode out of all of Mandalorian and all of Boba Fett. It might be the best
Yeah.
Star Wars episode they've done.
Nice.
Yeah, it is. It is.
Maybe I should skip all the
Oh.
episodes and go straight to 5 and 6. But I heard
No, don't.
like
You
what
need
kind
to
of
watch them all.
disappoints me. I know. What disappoints me, and I haven't even seen it yet, is people are saying about 5 is this is the best episode of the Book of Boba Fett, and it's not even because of Boba Fett. It's
Yeah.
because of Mando. So I do know that. So that's kind of disappointing, but for the most part, I'm looking forward to watching it.
See, and that's the thing with Book of Boba Fett that I'm kind of taking in right now is like the stuff outside of the Tuscan Raiders, because that that you kind of got a feel for what they were, because you don't know about the Tuscan Raiders so much from the Star Wars universe. There was no movies, or other than you saw them a little bit on A New Hope and things like that. So you got in episode 2.
Yeah, when
Attack of the
Anakin killed
Clones.
them, the younglings and the
Yeah,
women.
so they're the mysterious. So to really show like what they are, they were kind of like they had that mystic, and he took that journey. That was really cool. It's just once it got out of that and they went into him being the
A bitch.
well, the new
The
leader, like the
Damio or whatever they call it. I don't know what they call it, but yeah, I know what you mean. The mob
Yeah.
boss of Tatooine.
Yeah, it's like that they lost touch with Boba Fett. It's like it's just weird. It's just weird. I can't put my finger on what it is that I'm just not enjoying.
Is
it
there
so
a
much. So
chance that he'll return to being vicious at some point during this series? Right, like a cold-hearted cutthroat.
Vicious, cold-hearted. Something has to happen. Either
He has to be able to shoot his gun for one show, please. Just shoot your weapon at someone.
He did take out a whole gang of bikers, right?
I think
with
not
his
the dirt
ship.
Vespas. Not
No,
dirt
the speed
biker
bikers.
gang and-
Yeah. He just
Yeah.
gunned them all
Oh
down
yeah.
from his ship, right?
Yeah. But I think if the spice traders kill his right hand girl, I forget her name. If they
Finnick?
kill her,
Finnick, yeah.
Finnick, if they kill her, good possibility we see Boba Fett losing his shit, because he was very close to her, and I could see him being like, you know what, fuck this. I can't be who, because he's trying to keep the peace and install like fear, because he's Boba Fett. We all know who Boba Fett was, but now Boba Fett is not who he used to be. So, he's like,
Wait till he finds out Anakin killed a bunch of sand people. He's gonna be pissed off at Darth Vader.
It's sand, it's force, it's
Yeah, but
rough.
this is after that fact.
Yeah, no.
So, but possibility we could see him get back to who he used to be, and that'd be really good. But episode 6, like Jasper said, holy crap! You guys got to watch it tonight when you get when we get done here, and you'll be like, holy crap! Mav, you're gonna wish you saw it so we can talk about it, but it's good. Same thing with you,
I'll
three
definitely
bit.
check it out.
Watch episode 5 and 6, and then go back to 1 through 4.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'll definitely watch it. I mean, if I don't watch Cowboy Bebop, though, Pong is
Don't
gonna
watch
kill
that.
me.
Make time to watch Boba Fett, please.
Yeah, I'm gonna watch Boba this episode today. But yeah, you gotta get caught up 3-bit. Like because
I
you're
know.
episode 1. Just binge it. Just binge it. You can skip through parts of 3, right? It was episode 3 with the
dirt scooters.
dirt scooter. Yeah, you can skip through
Restless.
parts of episode 3, right? I will say that one thing I like about Boba Fett is he's assembling quite a badass cast around him, right? He's got
Oh,
Finnick
yeah.
is pretty badass. He's got
You should watch episode 6.
yeah. You got the
Chrysanthemum?
but who's the
Chrysanthemum?
chrysanthemum,
Wookiee.
or whatever his
The
name is,
Wookiee, yeah.
chrysanthemum, or how you say his name. He's
Yeah.
pretty badass. You got he's got a freaking monster thing under the ground. I forgot what those are called.
Rancor.
Yeah, Rancor. Yeah, he's got Rancor. A Rancor. He's got one of those. He's got the green pigs.
He's got Danny Trejo.
Yeah, Danny
Yeah.
Trejo. Yep.
Machete.
He he's assembling this cool cast, right? So I see lots of potential.
Oh, Danny
with this.
Trejo. I was like, I knew that guy.
Machete. Guy in Spy
Yeah.
Kids.
Yeah, the uncle, their uncle in
Yeah.
Spy Kids. Yeah, he's in Boba Fett.
Yeah, he's the guy he's the
He's a Rancor
He's
beast
yeah.
master or whatever you want to call it. I
a
don't know.
Rancor Rambler. Rambler.
Okay, well, I'm looking forward to that. Love that dude. He's awesome.
Yeah, that was episode
3.
2. Was it 3? Yeah,
I think
yeah.
so.
Okay.
Yeah.
What would you
because,
guys rate it
that's-
so far? Compare it to. This is not just a normal rating. I'm asking for you guys.
Without
is-
5 and 6, it's like a 4 show. With 5 and 6,
Exactly.
it's 10.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well,
yeah.
how would you
Um,
compare, like, from a totality of what you guys watched from beginning to end right now, compared to Mandalorian, which I rate Mandalorian as a 10. Right. I think the show is that good. How would you guys rate Boba Fett so far?
Like
Episode
Jasper said,
5 and 6 are carrying the show. Like, if it wasn't for episode
Yes.
5 and 6, this show would be garbage.
Garbage. Okay. Jeez.
Okay.
Well, I don't want to go that far, but I would definitely 5 and 6 definitely has brought life into the show. Without these, it would definitely be a 4 or 5.
Garbage?
Wow.
4 or 5. Oh my
Yeah.
gosh.
Yeah.
Really, guys? I'm
Yeah.
not okay.
It's not.
Okay.
I love Boba Fett though, and that's the thing. And it's like they did this show, and they're not paying homage to what made Boba Fett who Boba Fett was and why we loved him. He's a merc, and he was.
He's a bounty
mysterious,
hunter. Yeah.
and he just is like, hey, peace and love, man. Like, I'm the peace and love guy, all right? I don't need that with my fucking mercenary Boba Fett. He don't need to be like that. He needs to be ruthless. He needs, to show a strong hand, take over the fucking Tatooine. But listen, you guys are
He
out
should
of hand. I'm
shoot
gonna
that
fucking
fucking
smack
Twiggly mayor dude that keeps coming in his castle and like not giving him money. Shoot that dude.
Oh, they got him fucking captured.
Yeah.
So, and his bitch ass even talked in episode 6. Like, really? Like, he's like the Jar Jar Binks of Boba Fett. He's annoying.
Guys are being
But-
ruthless. I'll
That's
say
what Boba Fett should be.
That's what's up. Like, seriously.
Yeah.
Like, 5 and 6 are that good.
I'll
George
say
Alvernia gives it an 8.
yeah. For me, I'll say without episode 5, because episode 5 is even amazing, right? I will say I would give it a 7, right? I think that it has like some flaws with like how they're portraying the character, but overall as a show, is it really enjoyable to watch? For me, it has been, right? Especially the flashback stuff, going with the older timeline, how he got out of the situation and what made him into this character now, right? Because that whole Tusken Raiders thing, I think, was that part of that, right? I think that's where he like converted almost into this like discovering himself like type person or whatever, because he feels like he went down that path, right? And it just got him eaten by a sandworm, right? Like it's like, okay, that didn't work out so well for me, you know, like, and he learned a little different way with the Tuscans, right? And that's maybe why we're seeing this. But I think something's gonna trigger him at some point, and he's gonna revert to badass mercenary Boba. But I think we got to see the journey, right? So I think this is all part of the journey, and I think that at some point we're gonna see it come to fruition. Now I think that um he has some of his badassness come out at times, but he also looks weak at times. So I don't like those times, right? But overall, as a show, I like a lot of it. Some of it is dumb, like you know, the nitpicky things that draw people out, right? It shouldn't look that clean, right? In a lot of places, like people shouldn't have shiny ass bikes
or AKs.
and like, you know, clean clothes and stuff. They're on Tatooine, you know what I mean? Like we're used to seeing, like, from all of our history with Star Wars, what Tatooine's like. It's not like that, you know. So certain things are kind of like weird, but overall, I've really enjoyed the episode, and I can't wait to find out what happens to the end. It's really building to something now, right? For episode 5 and 4, for me, is like, okay, this is really building towards something, and it's going to be pretty badass conclusion, I think. So we'll see.
Episode 1 and 3 are probably the weakest episodes, and that's what, you know, why for me they got a low ranking.
And that's what I fear, because the guy making the next episode is the guy that made 1 and 3.
Yeah, so I'm hoping it. We'll see how it goes. But like I said, I don't know. It's weird. 5 and 6, again, best episodes. 6 is I'm on par with Jasper. It's probably the best episode out of Mandalorian and fucking Book of Boba Fett. It's that good. It's that fucking good. We got more insight on what's going on with characters.
This is better than the movies they made. Like, this episode is better than
yeah. It's really that good, guys. Like, it's up there. It's like it almost brought a tear to my eye with who I saw, and it was just like what they were doing. I was like, "Are you serious?" I'm like, "Wow,
man." Okay, freaking hell, we gotta end the show because I gotta go watch it. I gotta go watch it. All right. So, everybody,
3-bit watch it. 5 and 6
in the chat. Thank you for tuning in. I appreciate you all. All the support on the channel, showing up for even for hit the like button, sharing it out, subbing to the channel. Hanging out with us, and you've watched after the fact, or Spotify, Google Podcast, or Apple Podcast, all that stuff. Appreciate everybody. Thank you so much. And I got to thank our amazing panel for being here as well. Even though some of them are negative Nancy's, you know, they're little Debbie Downers. You know, they got their glass is half empty all the time. They can never have a full glass. You know, even if it's 3/4 full, these guys are like, hey, my glass is 25% empty, right? It's like, what the hell, right? It's okay though. I get it. You know, we gotta hope for better. We gotta hope for more. You know, like it's okay.
Sometimes you need to say some things.
Yeah.
Right?
Like I said something yesterday. Like, I'm not excited for Crossfire X. Already, I'm getting people like in my.
You got to be hard on the things you love to make them better.
I don't love Crossfire X. That thing looks like.
I'm still static for Crossfire X.
Yeah, we'll see.
Okay. If you like, what's it, Counter-Strike Go or Counter-Strike in general, and that's what the multiplayer felt to me, was Counter-Strike.
Yeah, it's basically was it was like a Korean ripoff of Counter-Strike. That's what it was, right? Originally.
Well,
and
I'm not really. I mean, I love
Counter-Strike,
but like the one thing I'm looking forward to with Crossfire is the campaign, just because I've been playing a lot of Remedy games lately. The way they have the way they display physics in games. I'm not even just talking about Control. I'm talking about like Max Payne and Quantum Break. I'm looking forward to seeing that in a first-person game.
Yeah.
Now, have we not seen a lot of footage? No. But would you rather have a game Yes, you haven't seen a lot of footage. That's a negative thing, right? Would you rather have a game that comes out and it gets bad reviews and stuff, but you were excited for it and you're like, okay, well, I'll get it anyways, or a game that's silent and then eventually it shows like gameplay?
I'd rather
See,
see.
that's the
So
thing.
I'm thinking of Dying Light because
Yeah,
Dying
I
Light
was
is
gonna
not
say
getting,
talking about Dying Light.
the Dying Light's
it's not
getting
getting
mixed
the best reviews.
Yeah, it's
It's
mixed.
getting like mixed reviews, but I'm still gonna try it out and whatever.
The thing with Crossfire X, before we do our outros, with that is like the multiplayer and the campaign are gonna be two separate feels, because what
Will
you're
it
gonna have like
though?
a
'Cause
counter.
Yeah, we'll see.
It will, because Remedy, how the campaign is going to be, is not going to play out the same way how multiplayer is going to feel. I guarantee it's going to. That's why multiplayer is going to be in Game Pass day one.
Well, multiplayer's free to
And-
play, like just straight up.
Yeah,
I think the
but
first
it's-
campaign is
The
like they're
first
doing
camp-
multiple campaigns.
Did it
So
have like
is the
multiple
first-
campaigns? The
first
first
three-
campaign is in Game Pass.
is the first campaign just okay?
Yeah, but it's a free to play game, like multiplayer wise. It's almost like Halo Infinite, like except Halo Infinite's like if it was like seasonal shorter campaigns, and only the first one was in Game Pass.
Yeah, I don't know if it's gonna be maybe like kind of like Battlefield Hardline, where maybe you just get the first episode. Like maybe they're gonna do like episodes or something, and like you just get the first episode of Game Pass, and it lasts like 4 hours, and then
Yeah,
the next episode.
the multiplayer is free to play, right?
Yeah.
I
It's going to be. It's going to feel different. It will.
I just don't know how they can
Not
have like the multiplayer gameplay, gunplay, and feel completely different than the single player, like it's two different games. But I'm thinking like what's probably happened here is they took, okay, here's our engine, here's how we do everything, guys. This is our game. Make us some kind of a story for this. And they got Remedy, who's a good storytelling studio, right? And they're like, they kind of use all the in-game assets and stuff and kind of make a story out of it for the purpose of marketing
Yeah.
it to a Western audience.
That's literally what I want, though. I just want Remedy
I
make
just-
it cool.
I
first
still
person,
feel
yeah.
it's gameplay, like the gunplay is going to be different between the two.
I just can't see Remedy making a super bad like I get. Like
I
some
think
people
where
may try
everybody's looking
beta
too
and
much
things.
into the Remedy name on this game. That's what I'm saying.
I mean, they developed the campaign. I don't know what else you want me. Like
In
maybe the
partnership,
multiplayer.
I think they were hired to do something specifically, right?
I didn't mind the game in the beta, to be honest. Like I know a lot of people hated it, but like I went
I
off in that
liked it.
game, so I was okay.
It was
I liked
very
it.
easy.
I did well. I did well, and I was able to handle myself. Me and Colt played it back in the
Was
beta.
it 2017 or something
That
like
was so long ago.
But,
It could be
No,
completely
that was-
different now, right?
That was back in the pandemic, so that was 2020.
Was it that recent?
Hmm.
I felt like it was like
Yeah.
before,
Yeah,
before
it was.
1X even hit. Like
it was.
no.
It wasn't on the Series X because I remember it was on the Xbox One because I had an external
Oh.
SSD and I was loading in before people because they were loading off their internal.
No, I was playing. It was on with the Series X.
No,
it
it was not. dude.
No. It was. So it was before the Series X, but it was on the One X.
Yeah,
I
it was on the
wait,
One X.
So wait, you guys played this
But it
on
was
the
2020.
One X?
Yeah,
Yeah,
Yeah, it was 2020.
a long time ago.
It was.
No,
Why? Okay, that was your last basis
it was
for
polished.
playing the game.
But it was polished. It just wasn't.
So
good.
imagine now with just some time.
Right.
you
It
know?
just the gunplay was bad. The spawning was bad. The graphics were okay, but it played like a, you know how sometimes a mobile game has really good looking graphics and stuff, and you're like, oh, that looks really impressive, but then you play it
Yeah.
and it's like, ooh, this is really shitty. You know,
Yeah.
that's how the
Okay.
game played to me. Okay, and that's how
All
it
the people
felt.
watching, I haven't seen
Right.
I haven't seen anything. So I'm like going off of your
So
guys.
I
I'm
can-
excited. For
I
it, but
compare it
haven't
to
seen
like a very generic mobile game experience. What I played of the multiplayer, right? Now, it could be different now. It's been years. It has been at least 3 years since I've played this game, right?
I mean, to me, it feels like Insurgency or any of those other like smaller shooter games. It doesn't. I mean, it
Well,
doesn't feel like
I'm-
Call of Duty, but it feels like just like a AA shooter.
It felt like it felt like Counter-Strike. That's
Yeah.
what it felt like to me.
Well, I'm more excited for this than Battlefield. Here's the thing, Battlefield, the last Battlefield 2042. I know that's a whole other topic, but that they got some proving to do for their next ones for me.
So I guess it was between June 25th to 28th of 2020.
Okay.
So
That's
was
such a weird release. So they I guess they released a beta, and they just been working on what it. Can you like play it right now?
No, it was only
No.
3 days of open beta.
Yeah.
Okay.
And it was open,
Hmm.
like as if, hey, the game's
It was
coming
a-
out.
it was
soon.
an
Well, you had
alpha
to
or was
sign
it-
up on the Insider app, but
Right.
yeah, it was.
It was it alpha or beta?
Doubtful.
I'm not sure, but this game is coming from an
I
existing
mean, they've
game.
had 2 extra years of work, so
Yeah, but this game also is coming from an existing game that's been in Korea for years.
Yeah.
Like this
That's
is
weird.
not just
I
like
don't know what to think about that.
this is not just like some brand new thing, right? Like this is coming over here for the first time.
well, it's the same name, but they started off like completely new. They started from scratch. It's the same name though.
Right. Like, because the original was called
Crossfire
Crossfire.
X.
This is Crossfire X.
Yeah.
Right. So this is like the sequel to Crossfire, I guess.
So do you guys think they'll like if they handed the game off to Remedy, they did the campaign. Do you think they would allow it to? Because I was thinking about this when the trailer came out. The campaign is way better than the multiplayer, and it embarrassed the multiplayer team. So then Remedy had to go in and make some changes with the multiplayer team.
To be
That's
fair, I
why-
think the campaign's gonna be kind of generic, like Michael Bay, like, oh, look at this explosion over here. You know, it's like
would they do that though?
Here's
Okay.
here's what I'm expecting from the campaign, like the Matrix Resurrections, like demo,
Oh,
right?
that was
Like it's just like, here we got this like thing that we made, and then here Remedy, you guys turn this into a story for us, please. You know, like, and this is not like Remedy's own big project. That's what people are like. The Remedy name is like big, so they're using it to market this game. But this is not Remedy's game. This is Smilegate's game. And Remedy is like one small part of it, and with their partnership in making the campaign, right? And the fact that it's not one big massive campaign, and it's like this like little campaigns and all this stuff is like, it just takes away my hype. Like first off, I was hyped to play the beta originally. After playing the beta, I didn't walk away with it like it's broken, like Battlefield, what beta was, or any of these other issues. Like, okay, if they can fix that, it's gonna be great. I just walked away with it. Wow, that was polished. I didn't like it, right? And after that, I'm like, okay. And then the beta came out in 2020, and the game's still not out yet, right? Like, it's 2022 now.
what's funny is there's another beta at the same time called like Kart Rider Drift. It was supposed to be like a Mario Kart like style game, and that game's still not out.
Yeah, it's. I think they got a lot of negative feedback at the time. Right, I know they got a lot of negative feedback at the time because I was there. I saw it. Everybody that I talked to was like, "Wow, this is not very good," you know. And I think they kind of maybe put it back in the oven. So I have hope, right? Maybe it'll be good, right? It just worries
Speaking
me.
of hope, Luke Skywalker is in the chat.
Yeah, Luke is in the chat. We just haven't seen anything from the game, and it's like about to come out in a few days. Does that
Man,
strike you
you're being
odd?
a Debbie Downer right now, okay?
Does
You
it
know?
strike you as odd?
Yeah, you're being a Debbie Downer,
Yeah.
man.
I'm-
What about
we'll
that
see.
whole half glass full thing you were
This
talking about?
one
earlier?
right now is like 90% empty, right? This thing is like
But
10,
okay, how do you get there though?
because I played the
to,
beta.
like-
I played the
But
beta.
that was 2 years ago. Right?
Exactly.
That
And
was
why isn't the game
on
not
a-
out
on
2
a
years after a
Xbox
beta?
One-
Like 2
On
years
an
after
Xbox One X.
2 years after a beta and the game's still not out? Like what that's just weird, man. And,
And
we
this
haven't
was before Remedy. So Remedy, this
No.
was way
No,
before
Remedy was announced
even-
like
or-
originally like that they were going to be doing
Around
the
that
campaign
time?
back then. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was. But I think what they
Ah.
did was they got a lot of people not enjoying the beta so much is that they went back and fixed the mechanics of the game,
Hopefully.
gunplay and everything else that the people had issues
So it
with.
didn't feel so cheap.
Also, it's also like I think there's 2 like $10 models and a $25 model option for the game. So it's like it's not the $60 game. So like
Yeah.
let's kind of keeps those expectations low.
No, exactly. That's what I'm saying. This is not like this big Remedy game. And I think like people see Remedy and they're thinking, oh, they made Control and they made Alan Wake and they made all these things. This is going to be amazing.
Those games are awesome.
They are.
They also made Crossfire X campaign.
Yeah.
Like,
I feel like
with
Remedy
that
got
history
hired
map.
to do this when they were at a low point for their studio and they needed the money, right? And they got hired to do this campaign thing for Crossfire X, right? And to help.
And why is this one bad all of a sudden? You have that whole history of awesome games that you just listed, but all of a sudden Crossfire is bad.
Yeah, it's the same thing that, like the Bungie argument. Like Bungie made a great game. Why is their next game going to be so great? Could be shit.
Or yeah, I guess it could be bad.
First off, Remedy's never made
Destiny was crap.
Remedy doesn't make first-person shooters. First off,
that's true. That's true. That's why I'm excited about it. I want to see what they got.
The second reason is I played the beta
of the multiplayer.
I
mean, I can't say.
I've never played a
campaign. Could be really good.
I've never played a first-person shooter where the mechanics feel completely different from the single player to the multiplayer.
When you have two different studios making it, you do.
No, that's happened lots of times. You've had different studios make multiplayer and campaigns in several different games. It's happened.
Yeah, but they're all
several different games.
In-house. These are not the same studios. You know, here's like this is a studio somewhere.
No, I mean
across
like
the world.
Yeah, I get that, but like they have to be sharing their stuff. They're not going to say, "Hey, build this from scratch." You know, they're using their stuff to make it still feel like Crossfire, right?
What's weird is like both studios, they have two different languages. They're in two different countries across the world. So like it's like so like far apart that like the communication between them has to be kind of like off.
Yeah, I mean, you have like several like different modes or different like companies have made multiplayer. Like Certain Affinities straight up made the multiplayer for several different franchises, right? And like you go through and you're like, okay, like this still feels like the same game. You know, you get subtle differences, you know, different feels here and there. Like Call of Duty, especially, like the campaign is like another level than the multiplayer, right? Like the campaign is like more polished, the graphics are better, you know, the gunplay feels a little bit better, and the multiplayer is still like, it's still Call of Duty, right? But it still shares that same formula. You can tell. I have a feeling it's going to be somewhat like that, but on a way lower scale, right? Like budget scale.
I'm really looking forward, like when we play this game, and then Mav's like, actually, I take all this back. I love it.
Very well could, because it's.
But also,
I'm gonna get to try it and for free.
I don't think
free
this is
play.
going to be another Spider-Man things. 3-bit, but
you don't think so? I mean, yeah, it's probably not, but I don't know. I'm looking forward to what they're doing with this game. Just because I like Remedy.
I'm excited for it, but I also have my doubts.
Yeah,
because they're not showing anything. So here's the thing, I can't say much about, like, this is not the
Yeah,
Spider-Man
what
space,
is it
'cause I
about
can't
it
say
that
much.
excites you other than the name Remedy?
That's it.
It's a shooter game.
To me, that's pretty much it. I mean, I love Counter-Strike. I literally have I used to play Counter-Strike professionally. Well, not professionally. I used to compete in Counter-Strike matches, and I used to love that game. I didn't play the new ones as much. But
You'll like it then, 3-bit.
Did you see Destin Legary's preview of Crossfire X?
No.
Was that recent or?
This was a couple months ago. They had a behind the scenes. There was a behind the scenes like media event a few months ago, right? And a bunch of media got behind the scenes look at the campaign and stuff of Crossfire X. And I'm just gonna say that the feedback that came out of that was not very positive.
Okay.
So there's more than just that, right? And Destin Legary's got a pretty like open mind with this stuff. I kind of has a good opinion on things. Like he's level headed.
I usually actually trust him.
I'm gonna see if I can find his tweet after the show and see.
Well, the good thing about this is the first campaign's in Game Pass and the multiplayer's free. So if you don't want to spend money, you don't have to. But if you want to, you can.
Oh, it's in Game Pass, the campaign?
The first episode.
Or
First
whatever.
episode and multiplayer.
Okay. Yeah, the only thing that's really exciting me is the fact that you guys are saying it's like a clone of Counter-Strike. I love Counter-Strike, so that appeals to me. and then the remedy. That's basically it. So when you're saying like, oh, the beta was bad and stuff, I'm taking you for your word because I haven't really seen much gameplay for it. I've been trying not to, honestly.
Well, there's not
unless
much
it's
out
like
there.
well, yeah, I guess. Even if I tried, I guess there's not a lot out there of the campaign if I even wanted to see
Okay,
it.
so this is a IGN article from Destin Legary.
Okay,
Been there, played that.
Really?
Okay.
It's like a clone.
This is a preview. You know, usually again on previews, like they're generally more positive, right? For the sake of being positive. About games, right? And it's like when they come out and they're like not good, it's like, oh, they kind of like seem like they were so positive about this game for so long and it's trash, right? But this is not the case. Destin says, I've been tremendously excited for Crossfire X as the trailers we've seen have been flashy, bombastic, and visually impressive. Sadly, none of that was present during the few chapters we had the opportunity to experience early as part of this preview. Enemies look and sound generic, and they aren't particularly smart either, walking right into your bullets if you'll let them. The levels we did play had little of the visual flair in the marketing material, and the missions are filled with tired tropes like waiting for a guy to open a door, forced walking so you can be delivered narrative over comms, and of course a dash of campy military ops dialogue sprinkled in. The worst part is that the core of what Crossfire X is supposed to be, a first-person shooter, seems to be trapped in the Xbox 360 era. Sure, you can slow down time for some cool slow-mo action, but when you move from side to side in this mode, you'll zip across the screen, making it a bit hard to pull off the intended cool guy kill shot that they were going for. Generally, shooting mechanics for all guns feel the same, with your rifle bouncing into the air at what feels like an equal rate regardless of your weapon type. When combined, it all makes the entire gameplay side of things feel a bit boring throughout. Then he says a few things. Okay.
About a Debbie Downer over here.
He says the cutscenes are the Remedy's cutscenes are good. Yeah.
Cops are in front of my house.
Oh wow. I guess those gunshots were something there, 3-bit.
Yeah. I'm not gonna
you
shoot
do
you
it?
as my house, but crazy.
So there was one boss fight with a turret that we had the opportunity to fight, but the battle amounted to shooting 3 boxes in the room and then slow-mo kill the turret to win. It felt like it was all over before it began. Based on what I played of Crossfire X, it did not have a lot going for it. It's kind of fun to slide across the floor and shoot the brain-dead soldiers throwing themselves at your bullets, but the shallow story and basic but a bit wonky controls didn't wow me very much as I walked through the bland environments. There were a few moments that looked to break things up a bit, like the turret boss fight or even the short stealth portion. But overall, Crossfire X doesn't really seem to be bringing much to the table. Hopefully, multiplayer will prove more exciting when the whole package launches in February.
Oh, so they're saying multiplayer is what he was looking forward to. I'm looking forward to the campaign.
Yeah, well, he got to play the campaign. So, yeah, we'll see.
Well,
I mean, these are the kind of things that I saw, not just from him, other kind of media people that got to play it. A few were like, hey, I thought it was pretty cool, you know? We'll see, man. I'm just saying, like,
you know what? People weren't they saying that about Guardians, or did the Guardians have like the previews were good? It was just people didn't like the initial.
We just didn't like the initial reveal, I think, of Guardians and how they presented it and everything.
So. Okay. Well, I hope it's good. It looks like it's just gonna be okay. I don't know.
I'm not trying to kill your hype.
I'll still try.
I just want you to have the right
The hype is already killed, man. You know when people find out about Santa Claus, right? And then their hope just dies. That's what Mab did to me, guys. I had hope, and now I don't. It's gone.
Here's the thing: you get to play it. I'm gonna raise your hype level of excitement a little bit because I'm gonna put you in the same mindset that I am. I'm not expecting anything good from this, right? But it's gonna be you're gonna get to play that first episode of the campaign and Game Pass, and if you like the whole thing, you can buy it for $25. And also, regardless, you get to play the multiplayer for free because it's free to play. So when you're deciding, should I play Warzone or Halo Infinite or Crossfire X, you get to make that tough decision at that point. And so we'll see if Crossfire X wins that battle. we'll see.
Yeah, we'll see.
Crossfire X.
3-Bit buys the game. Are you going to play it with him so he doesn't have to complain about that?
Well, it's free to play. It's I don't have to buy it. I'm gonna install it and play it. So I'll play. Well, I'm gonna give it a shot. Like, why not? You know what I mean? Like, I put on there on Twitter like I wasn't really excited about this game, and like this guy was like, and all the media is gonna bash it and all this stuff, and I'm like, I'm just saying I'm not excited for it. Like, I'm not saying like it's gonna be trash. Like, I just said like, hey, it's really weird that we haven't seen anything. And it's about to come
that's
out.
my main concern. Like, we're 8 days out and no one's putting videos or anything out for it.
Yeah, there was nothing even from that preview event. There's no like videos and stuff.
Yeah,
like
that's weird. That is weird, and it comes out very soon.
Yeah,
I believe.
So
Yeah.
let's all play it. Make it like a stream or something.
Yeah, we'll play it. Give it a shot. Give it a go. Have a little bit of fun, and then probably stop playing it. That's what I'm gonna guess is gonna happen. You know, saying. But we'll see. It could take off. Who knows? It could take off. It could be the next Fortnite.
We'll see. I mean, it's big in Korea.
Yeah.
It's actually like the most popular shooter or something like that. It has like the most concurrent players.
Yeah, the original Crossfire.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think because like, was it played in China and stuff as well?
Yeah, it was like all those
so
Asian
like
countries.
a lot of those, like you got to remember the time of this, right? When it is growing in popularity, like Call of Duty at the time was not allowed to be put over there. Like all these other games were not allowed to be put over there. They didn't even have the same consoles that we had. They had knockoff consoles, right? So what they had was PC, and you have like some games that came out of that, right? That took off. And you remember seeing all those ads for like those generic mobile games all the time that look like Warzone or look like Call of Duty or look like this, but it's not.
And they're all made by Tencent.
Yes. Right. Like this was this when it came out, like I think kind of started as that, but it's actually was decent enough to grow and to become something big, right? Just my perspective. But you're going to a huge audience that didn't have any other alternatives, right? Like maybe I don't know, like if they have Counter-Strike over in China and stuff back then.
Yeah.
You know, I'm not sure, you know,
Maybe.
but I think that's part of the reason why it had such a big audience. So we'll see like if this is going to be good, right? I was expecting it to be good after I heard that before I played the beta. Oh, this is gonna be the beta of one of the most played games ever. Cool, I'm gonna check it out. Like it's cool to get this over here. Try it. I was like, ooh, okay. Yeah, that's interesting, but we'll see. Anyway, Psycho, where can everybody find you, bro?
Yeah, everyone can find me on social media everywhere. Psychonauts8. Hit me up on Twitter or on Xbox, and we can play something. And then you can find me on Fridays on Xbox Ultimate on 9 o'clock with the Grade 8.
Yes, sir.
Grade 8.
The Grade 8. And 3-Bit, the man that lives in the place with the cops outside right now, hanging out with Jimmy Neutron on the sidewalk. What's up, man? Where can everybody find you and your hype for Crossfire X?
Everyone can find me on Twitter at i3bit. You can find me in this stream and also Ultimate when I can make it at this point. I'll be there this Friday. I will be. I will be. Okay. I'll be there this Friday.
Sure?
Yes.
Okay.
I'm sure this time.
How's Izzy gonna take that?
Izzy.
Have you told her yet?
She's watching right now.
She found out now.
Yeah. Right on.
Oh yeah, by the way, babe.
Oh yeah, I'll be streaming Friday. Anyways, that's pretty much where you guys can find me. Love you all, and I'll see you guys in the next one.
Right on, man. Thanks for being here. Exactly 18 minutes late. That's okay though. You have a good excuse. You had a good excuse this time. So, and Jasper.
Relentless 3-Bit.
I just love messing with 3-Bit. I don't care. Jasper, the realist, the Debbie Downer, the 75% glass, half empty person, or the lore master himself that pretty much told us the plot of the Halo TV show. Now I'm like, okay, that makes a lot of sense.
Yeah, what the heck?
Where can everybody find your brain?
Jasper underscore gaming underscore on Twitter. Jasper Gaming on YouTube. Links to all of the panel members are in the description below. Check me out Friday on Xbox Ultimate, and yeah.
Cool. Right on, man. Thanks for being here, panel. Chat, you guys rock. It's been amazing. Luke Skywalker, may the force be with you. Babe, I love you. I'm hungry and I have a headache, so I'm gonna come eat some. I'm gonna take some ibuprofen and eat some food.
Come eat some ibuprofen.
Oh, I was gonna go somewhere totally fucking different with that.
Well, oh,
I
okay.
thought you said something else like, "I love you, babe. I'm gonna come down and eat you." And I'm
Oh,
like, what the
jeez.
fuck?
But I'll tell you what I'm gonna do after that. I'm gonna watch some Boba Fett episode 6, so I can be as
Gonna
happy
do
as
an
you
emergency
guys are.
fun pop in like 2 hours.
Maybe
Yes.
so. We'll see. I'll hit you guys up. But take it easy, guys. Thank you, chat, again. Appreciate it. Bye bye.
Thank you, chat. Later,
Bye.
bye. Bye.
Bye.
Bye.
FunPop.